Hello everyone, welcome to the Codatta community. If you've heard about Codatta from a friend or from a social media post, you're probably wondering, so what is this Codatta thing? Well, Codatta is all about universal labeling and data annotation, and it is designed to turn human intelligence into AI. Actually, we're the first to create a decentralized data protocol for developers, protocols, and AI. And our goal is to make data super accessible and transparent for blockchain and metadata. So this is our website, codatta.io. Now we're going to check out a super cool platform created by Codatta. You can go ahead and click on here. And if this is your first time to open this app, it will have the prompt to ask you to log in. And after that, you will see a platform like this one. You can see submission, validation, bounty hunting, quest, and other interesting stuff at the left, and then your personal information at the right hand side. Today we're going to look into validation on the platform over here. But before we get into the details, let's see how validation is related to submission right here. If you watch the submission demo from Codatta, and if you've tried to do a couple of submissions on your own, you would have noticed this prompt after submitting. It says your submission is at the point of human intelligence, and that's when validation comes in. Human validation or human intelligence means platform users can make quality validation of data submitted by other users, which could be any of you. Then how exactly do we validate other submission? When submitting data, we need to fill in or select a total number of 8 items, as you can see here. We've got network, address, and category. If you're not sure about this one, check out the data collection tutorial link below this video. And with entity, it could be an institution, company, or an organization. And we've got transaction hash here to see if this address is valid and active. Down here, you get to describe the address a little bit and add more info that is not included in the other 7 items. Also make sure to take screenshots of your data source, address info, and upload them here. The link down here is for you to paste a link to your data source. Having these in mind, let's take a look at a validation and go through the 3 principles of validation before we actually complete one. Let's go ahead and choose this one. First would be the level of content completion. Make sure to check if a submission has all the required information filled out. The text here, or the description here, is where we usually find insufficient information. It will be much better if, instead of approve, there is a brief description of the address and the transaction. This description here usually tells us that this user is treating this submission seriously and the information in here is reliable. The next principle will be the authenticity of the information. Go ahead and check if the network and the address match or the address and the transaction match. Also, you can check if a submission has irrelevant pictures included. That says a lot about the attitude of the user. We hope to see only helpful and supportive images. Let's take a look at this one. This is an image about the transaction hash. It has the transaction hash and the address and other details. And this could be one of the supportive images that we are hoping to see. The third principle should be consistency among items. If the entity in a submission is, let's say, Binance, then the category should be exchange. There should be at least one screenshot included that shows the same address as it is in the address item. Higher self-consistency leads to a higher pass rate, which will further promote data quality and reputation of the user. In the long run, you'll find higher rewards from our protocol. Now let's do a validation together. I just picked this one up randomly, and from here we get to see some details of the submission. We already checked that the entity and category, they match. Then let's check if the transaction hash and the address match what it is showing on the submission. That's the transaction hash, and that's the address. And I think they match. And then when you're checking, make sure to take a screenshot of the information on EtherScan and then upload it here. Over here, I've wrote down a list of reasons that I think I should approve this submission, and also I included a screenshot to support my judgment. Then click on Submit. At this point, you might be wondering, so when should we reject a submission then? I've got one here, let's take a look. It has network as Bitcoin, but has an Ethereum address, so they don't really match. When you click on the transaction hash, there's nothing there. In this case, you can go ahead and reject. If you were to approve a submission, reason and images are optional, but always good to have. Right now, it's definitely a reject. And then click on Submit. After submitting the validation, you can either wait for about 2 days or check back here anytime to see its progress. This is a list of validation you've done and are still in progress, and here is the completed validations. And that's how we do a validation. Hope you find this demo helpful, and happy validating.